Habakkuk chapter 2 and verse 1 in the NLT, which goes into God's answers. The prophet, I will climb up to my watchtower and stand at my guard post. There I will wait to see what the Lord says and how he will answer my complaint. Then the Lord said to me, write my answer plainly on tablets. And that's what we're on right now. A literal tablet or PC, personal computers, or your cell phone. That's like a mini tablet, so that a runner can carry the correct message to others, which is the message of the prophets. This vision is for a future time. It describes the end. And that's exactly what we're in right now, the end of Esau's world. And it will be fulfilled. If it seems slow in coming, wait patiently, for it will surely take place. It will not be delayed. Kol Holo Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai, which is all praises to the Heavenly Father and His only begotten Son, Bahashem Rika Quadash, which is the Holy Spirit that deliver us all wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of this truth. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and blessings and salutations to the hopefully elect, the men, women, and children that serve in the Lord in sincerity and also truth, presenting their bodies as living sacrifices here in these last days, and forsaking this wicked and decrepit world. Continue to push the Shabbat Mashiach, coming back at you with another refreshing and, Lord willing, it's edifying and straight to the point, just like the Habakkuk said, I will stand upon my watch. And he also said that the vision is for a appointed time, but at the end, it shall speak. And that vision that John the Revelator received on the island of Patmos, that no man might be able to buy or sell save he that had the mark, is surely coming to pass here in these last days, as the UK's digital IDs proposal. And that's what we're going to be getting into today, showing you that biblical prophecy is being fulfilled.
You will not be able to work in the United Kingdom unless you have a digital ID.
And that is why today I am announcing this government will make a new free of charge digital ID.
So it's going to be free of charge. And this is gradualism to lead you to what? The mark of the beast system that they're setting up that's going to be digital. Just like John the Revelator received the vision on the island of Patmos when he was in prison, of no man being able to buy or sell save he that had the mark. Well, that's pretty much what's playing out right now. This is conditioning and gearing you up for that digital system. You won't be able to work a job unless you have a digital ID. What do you work a job for? To be able to buy or sell.
Mandatory for the right to work by the end of this parliament.
So it's going to be mandatory. It's going to be made a law. This is Isaiah chapter 10 and verse 1. And it goes into Assyria, which is one of the kingdoms that the children of Israel, the northern kingdom specifically, served slavery, captivity in. And that's exactly what you have here in Babylon the Great, aka America. You got all 12 tribes in captivity under the modern day Assyrian, which is Esau, Edom, the so-called white man. So Assyria is God's instrument. So this is who the Heavenly Father used to punish the children of Israel and to also test you. Isaiah chapter 10 and verse 1. And we're going to read this also. Matter of fact, in the KJV, woe, which means destruction, unto them that decree unrighteous decrees. And what is a decree? A law. And this is an unrighteous decree, which is unfair. What did he just say about you being able to work a job in the UK?
ID mandatory for the right to work by the end of this Parliament.
So it's going to be mandatory. It's going to be a decree, a law, mandatory. If you want to work, if you want to buy and sell. So woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees, and that right grievousness. That's what this law is. It's grievousness. That if I don't want a digital ID, I can't work a job to provide my everyday needs. That's unrighteous, and that's fucking grievousness, which they have prescribed. They already had these unjust or unfair laws on the books. And they just been waiting for the perfect time to make it mandatory. Like now. Because we're in what? The end times.
Free of charge digital ID mandatory for the right to work by the end of this Parliament.
So it's already prescribed. It's already written. It's on the books. And now they're making it mandatory. And what is it going to do? Verse 2. To turn aside the needy. Who needs a job? You Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians, and as well as all of you other heathen nations that are caught up in this system that they're setting up, which is the beast system that's going digital. To turn aside. If you don't want to get that digital ID, you're going to be turned aside. You're not going to be able to work a 9-to-5 job. You're not going to be able to go inside of the grocery stores. You're not going to be able to drive a vehicle or get on an airplane or train or boat. To turn aside the needy from judgment and to take away the right, your God-given rights. That's what they're taking. The Constitution is done away with. You Americans that think that you're free, hey man, you see all these false flag attacks, so-called T attacks, mass shootings, the boogeymans like Russia, China, who they're in bed with. What are they doing aside of that? And to take away the right, your God-given rights to bear arms, your Second Amendment, your Constitution is being taken away. Your freedom of speech, Charlie Kirk. And to take away the right from the poor of my people. Because that's who they really want to get. Jacob. That widows may be their prey. And that they may rob the fatherless. And the policies and the different executive orders that DJ Trump is passing, hey, it says that your 401k will never be the same. They're getting ready to rob. The banks are shutting down, going bankrupt because they're getting ready to do what? Usher in the digital beast system.
Let me spell that out. You will not be able to work in the United Kingdom if you do not have digital ID.
And if it starts in the UK, where is it coming to? America. That's where America is run out of. Europe, NATO, the beast, the whore, which is America, that rideth upon the beast with 7 heads and 10 horns. And you see how that beast is now starting to speak. It's mandatory, right? 2 Corinthians chapter 2 and verse 11. Lest Satan, and Satan just means adversary. Yes, the children of Israel, the Lord's people, you have an adversary. Satan, and you're looking at him right here, which is Esau, Edom, the so-called white man. At least Satan should get an advantage of us. Who is us? The children of Israel. And when somebody gets an advantage of you, they outsmart you. And that's what they're planning to do. Because they know that what? You need a job to turn aside the needy from judgment and to take away the right from the poor of my people. They know that you're poor. You're living paycheck to paycheck. They've been destroying their jobs, ushering in AI, artificial intelligence. It was all a plan alone because they knew you're poor. You're going to need a job. So you're going to have to get down with this beast system. 2 Corinthians chapter 2 and verse 11. Least Satan should get an advantage of us. That's what they're planning to do. Outsmart us. But the Lord's servants, his prophets, we know exactly what's going on. For we are not ignorant, meaning not to know. And 2/3 of the nation of Israel, they chasing the bag. So guess what? When that bag is gone, they're going to do whatever it takes to get back to it. Ignorant. For we are not ignorant of his devices, his evil schemes. That's what they're doing right now. Even though this is not the mark of the beast, but this is gearing you up, setting the system in place. And that's what they've been doing since 2020, the pandemic. They put up the digital grid, 6G, made you take that goddamn serpent juice, using code words, which you had to roll your sleeve up to, which had nano technology to pretty much link you to the grid. So when they put that C-hip inside of your right hand or forehead, hey man, it's gonna link right in. You're ready for the digital system. For we are not ignorant. Who is we? The hopefully elect of the nation of Israel. We see clearly what's going on. For we are not ignorant of his devices, those evil schemes. And what does devices go into? Let's see real quick. Because that's exactly what they're trying to implement. The mark of the beast. All.
Strong's G 3540. Naima.
A mental perception. They're playing mind games. A digital ID. So they can get what? Your biometrics. And then eventually inside of your DNA. Kind of like 2020, right? That's what they play that Squid Game to do. To alter your DNA. A mental perception, mind games. Let me play with your emotions. That's what, do or die. Do you want to ride? That was my shit. But a mental perception, thought. They're trying to play with your thoughts. An evil purpose, but that's all they have for you. The beast system that they're setting up. That which thinks, the mind, thoughts, or purposes. And that's what they want to get inside with what? Neuralink. Brain chips to control what? That which thinks, your mind, the mind, thoughts, or purposes. That's that device that they want to get inside of you. And John the Revelator on the island of Patmos described it to a T. But let's finish this video clip off first.
It's as simple as that.
So as you just saw on September 26th of 2025, UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer formally introduced and announced plans for a mandatory digital ID scheme during a speech at the Global Progress Action Summit in London. Now, this scheme has been often referred to as the, quote,
And that's where your rich elite, the globalists, the bankers, reside out of. Europe.
card and would require all working adults in the UK to obtain a free government-issued digital identity via a smartphone app. Now, Starmer positioned this as a key tool to, quote, make it tougher to work illegally, thereby reducing UK's appeal to as a destination for illegal migrants by closing loopholes in the, quote, shadow economy. Now, since the Labour Party took power in July of 2024, there have been over 50,000 small boat crossings with illegal migrants coming to the United Kingdom. 50,000. So, which is...
And that's what they use the illegal so-called immigrants for.
Ironic, because you would think that the United States had worse immigration problems back when people were flooding across our border because you could just walk here, whereas there you got to get on a boat and come across a decent gap of water, but that doesn't seem to have dissuaded people.
There you go. And we got to go back in time to see what they're setting up. The UK's digital IDs proposal. Let's go back a couple years now, and let's get what Yuval Noah Harari of the World Economic Forum said about surveillance under the skin. That's what this is leading to.
Humans are now hackable animals. You know, the whole idea that humans have, you know, this, they have this soul or spirit and they have free will and nobody knows what's happening inside me. So whatever I choose, whether in the election or whether in the supermarket, this is my free will, that's over. We have all the...
Woo! Whatever I choose and the elections or the supermarket, free will, it's over. Revelation chapter 13, the beast from the earth. Revelation chapter 13 and verse 11, and I beheld another beast. And this other beast coming up out of the earth is America, which is Babylon the Great. And he had two horns like a lamb, which is the Democrats and the Republicans that they make you bird brain ass Americans vote for every year, even though there's other parties. But it's always left wing and right wing, red state against blue state, Democrat against Republican. That's those two horns like a lamb. And both sides speak good things to you. They come humbly like a lamb does. But then eventually once they get in office, and he spake as a dragon, draconian measures. How many executive orders did DJ Trump pass? Talking about he was going to make America great again, but now we got martial law, draconian measures, dragon-like laws being passed. Over there in the UK, you're not going to be able to work a job unless you have a digital ID. And he exercised all the power of the first beast before him. Who is the first beast? Who America is patterned after, the ancient Roman Empire, and caused the earth and them which dwell therein to worship the first beast, whose deadly wound was healed. Rome, that's living through who? America here today. And they had the same exact system in play. Politics, a senate, colosseums, and he doeth great wonders, so that he maketh fire come down from heaven on the earth in the sight of man. What are they dropping right now? Over there in the Middle East, on the Palestinians, on the Iranians. What did they shoot at the UFO, the UAP, a Hellfire missile? What did they drop on Hiroshima, Nagasaki? The atomic bomb. Who did that? America did. Verse 14, and deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles, through his technology, this digital system that they're setting up, which he had power to do in the sight of the beast, saying to them that dwell on the earth, that they should make an image to the beast. So America is patterned after who? The ancient Roman Empire. But it's more technological now, which had the wound by a sword and did live, which was Rome. And how is it living? Through America here today. Verse 15, and he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, this system that they're setting up, And who did they receive the power from? The spiritual demon Satan. This beast system that they're setting up, that's who they worship, Satan. But ultimately, the Heavenly Father gave Satan the okay to work with them on the left-hand side, because this is fulfilling biblical prophecy. This is his will. That the image of the beast should both speak. How is it speaking? Through his legislation, through those executive orders, through those draconian measures. Remember, he would speak as a dragon. Draconian measures, martial law. That's what we're pretty much in here in America. DJ Trump has initiated the National Guards damn near in every state and calls that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. And that's what we're fastly approaching, to where those troops, the UN, the United Nations, the Gurga troops, the killer robots, the drones, are going to eventually start killing you. And Trump just called all the officers of the military, I forget where to, but that's what they're working on right now. Somebody recently died by way of guillotine in Texas, I believe it was, if I'm not mistaken. So that's what they're going to start to do to what? The followers of Yahweh Shah HaMashiach, the Christians. What just happened to a church? It got pretty much attacked and burnt down. And he calls it all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark. And why does it say rich and poor? They've been doing away with the middle class. It's only going to be the rich and the goyim, the cattle, the working class, slaves, free and bond. He may offer you this as a get out of jail free card. That's what they're doing with ICE. These illegal immigrants. Just get this digital ID. Just get this brain chip. Just get this mark inside of your right hand to see help. And hey, you can go free so we can track you. Make sure you're not doing no crime. To receive a mark in their right hand. And what is this mark? And then we'll go right back to the video clip to make it make sense to what Yuval Noah Harari was saying about surveillance under the skin. Yuval Noah Harari.
Strong's G 5480. Charagma. Charagma.
Karagma. A stamp, an imprinted mark. And something that's imprinted, it's in your skin. What did it say? Surveillance under the skin. What did the UK say? A digital ID, which is pretty much biometrics. Your DNA. Of the mark stamped on the forehead or the right hand as the badge. A badge does what? It gives you access. So you can do what? Work your job. A digital ID of the followers of the Antichrist. And there's more than one Antichrist. This whole beast system is anti-Hamashiach. The mark branded upon horses. Why do you brand your horses? To show ownership. And that's what Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, is trying to do with the Lord's people, the Israelites. He's trying to show that this is my property. They belong to me. That's what you do to slaves. Oh, that's what they did back in the ancient world. They would brand them. Thing, carved, sculpture, graven work of idolatrous images. You see, you're going to be what? In idolatry. That's why the Lord said, if any man receive or take that mark, you're going to partake in that lake of fire, because you're in idolatry, which is a penalty worthy of death. And that's what the Lord is going to do to your fucking ass. Everyone that bow down to this beast system, worship it, and receive its mark, we're going to show you where you're going to end up. So, and he calls it all, both small and great. Doesn't matter your tax bracket, whether you're poor, whether you're rich, whether you're wealthy, whether you're low, as far as on the totem pole, you ain't got no status, or you're famous. A lot of these rappers, athletes, actresses, they're going to be the ones who push and promote it, because a lot of them already have it. They already made a deal with Satan. And he calls it all, both small and great. rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark, charagma, imprinted mark under the skin, in their right hand, the C-hip, or in their foreheads. They got Neuralink, and many other companies have brain chips besides Elon Musk. And that no man might buy or sell. Why do you work a job? To be able to do what? Go inside the grocery store, buy and sell. Go inside of Walmart, go inside of Target, shop online. But you're not going to be able to do it if you don't get down with the digital ID, which is conditioning you for what? The charagma, the imprinted mark. And that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name, which is a system that they're setting up. Going back to the video clip of what Yuval Noah Harari was saying about surveillance under the skin.
Humans are now hackable animals. You know, the whole idea that humans have, you know, they have this soul or spirit and they have free will and nobody knows what's happening inside me. So whatever I choose, whether in the election or whether in
the election, remember, he had two horns like a lamb, Democrats and Republicans, but he spake as a dragon. And that's what he's going to tell you right here, as a dragon.
The supermarket, this is my free will. That's over.
That's over. Draconian measures. Just like the UK, you're not going to be able to work a job unless you got the digital ID.
All this still myth of free will, that everything we choose is of our own free will.
To take away the right from the poor of my people. That's what they're doing. That was in the book of Isaiah chapter 10.
And this is a myth that served us well for a couple of centuries, but now it's becoming dangerous. Previously, surveillance was mainly above the skin. Now it's going under the skin. No, I think
surveillance was previous above the skin. Now it's going under the skin.
Maybe in a couple of decades, when people look back, the thing they will remember from the COVID crisis is this is the moment when everything went digital.
When everything went digital. And we just got what the UK said about the digital ID. And this was 3 years ago. Showing you, what was it again? Predictively programming you. What is the other one? When they slowly, gradualism. That's exactly what this is. I got to go back real quick. Gradualism. From the COVID 2020, the pandemic, till now. And that was 5 years ago. I gotta go back to this video clip real quick. Yup. Digital ID. And this is from New York Post. Digital ID to be mandatory for right to work in the UK.
Just found this unbelievable sequin dress on eBay from a seller who's probably a Vegas showgirl.
And yes, we are in an era of... And that is why today I am announcing this...
Look at that. What does it say behind him? Global, which means worldwide, program, action. So this is going to be a global action and program that they established, which is the BEAST system.
This government will make a new free of charge digital ID mandatory for the right to work by the end of this Parliament. Let me spell that out. You will not be able to work in the United Kingdom if you do not have digital ID.
And that was 2 days ago. September 26, 2025. Going back 5 years ago, or 3 years ago, when this video clip came out. What did Yuval Noah Harari or Yuval Noah Harari say?
No, I think maybe in a couple of decades when people look back, the thing they will remember from the COVID crisis is this is the moment when everything went digital.
And it's here. This is the moment when everything went digital. Just like John the Revelator said, Revelation chapter 13 and verse 16. And he calls it all, both small and great. It's going to be mandatory. Rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark, digital, in their right hand or in their foreheads, which is what? Surveillance under the skin, like Yuval Noah Harari is saying right here.
And this was the moment when everything became monitored, that we agreed to be surveyed all the time, not just in authoritarian regimes, but even in democracies. And
that's what America has, a democracy.
Maybe most importantly of all, this was the moment when surveillance started going under the skin.
Woo! Surveillance started to go under the skin. And that's where this digital ID is leading us. That's going to be mandatory if you want to work.
It's as simple as that. Because decent, pragmatic, fair-minded people, they want us to tackle the issues that they see around them. And of course, the truth is, we won't solve our problems if we don't also take on the root causes. For too many years, it's been too easy for people to come here, slip into the shadow economy, and remain here illegally. Because, frankly, we've been squeamish about saying things that are clearly true. It's not just that it's not compassionate left-wing politics to rely on labour that exploits foreign workers and undercuts fair wages, but the simple fact that every nation needs to have control over its borders. We do need to know who is in our country. Our immigration system does need to be fair if we want to maintain that binding contract that our politics is built on. Otherwise, it undermines trust, undermines people's faith that we're on their side, and their belief that the state can and will work for them. That puts paid to a story we often hear.
So there you go. Going back to what he said once again.
Make a new free of charge digital ID mandatory for the right to work.
Mandatory for the right to work. And why do you work? Revelation chapter 13 and verse 17. And that no man might buy or sell. That's why you work a job. Save he that had the mark. So you're going to have that charagma, that imprinted mark, that digital surveillance under the skin, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. Here is wisdom. Let him that had understanding count the number of the beast. For it is the number of a man, which is the so-called white man. This is his system that he's setting up. And his number is 666. The first Apple computer was how much? $666. 666 is in every goddamn corporation logo. Hell, it's in the World Economic Forum. It's in CERN. It's in all this bullshit, because that's this beast system that they're setting up, and that's his number. And that's what he makes you pretty much throw up when you make a covenant with the devil. And that's what a lot of our people be doing. When you hit the three-pointer, you throw up what? The 6. You see all these rappers, these athletes, these actresses throwing up 6s behind the scenes because they sold their souls to Satan, because this is his system that he's establishing. And a lot of them already got the charagma, that digital surveillance under the skin. And this is where it's going to lead you to if you accept it. This is the book of Revelation, chapter 14 and verse 9. Doom for worshippers of the beast. And the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast and his image, this system that he's establishing, that's going what? digital, and receive his mark, that charagma, in his forehead, Neuralink, or in his hand, the C-hip, the digital all. The same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of God, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation. And he shall be tormented with fire, ICBM nuclear missiles, World War III, and brimstone. That's the modern day fire and brimstone. And the presence of the holy angels, and in the presence of the Lamb, Yahweh Shai, Hamashiach, and the angels. And the smoke of their torments ascended up forever and ever, and they have no rest day nor night, who worship the beast in his image, and whosoever receive the mark of his name. Here is the patience of the saints. Psalms 148 and verse 14, the children of Israel. Here are they that keep the commandments of God, and the faith of Yahweh Shai, Hamashiach. So call hello Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, for giving me the spirit to do this lesson. Shabbat, Shalom Israel, and it's on to the next one. Digital ID to be mandatory for right to work in the UK. It's here. At the end, it shall speak.